That's gonna be the intro.
No! Hi everyone, I'm Jay from J&K, and this is going to be a 50 Facts About Me, Jay. My name is Jonathan. I was born April 11th, 1992, making me 22 years old. I'm 6 feet tall. I was born in a city called Hackensack. My favorite sports growing up and still continue to be soccer, tennis, and football. I happen to love chess. I started back when I was in middle school, and while I don't get to play as often, I still enjoy playing it thoroughly. In regards to video games, I love playing Halo and Assassin's Creed. I'm currently majoring in economics, and I know 2 languages fluently. From kindergarten up until college, I have attended 6 different schools in various areas of the county. I'm really good with numbers. I could probably do math a lot faster than normal people. Anyway, my favorite color is red. My backup color is blue. However, my range is not as wide as my dear sister's. It's a little bit more along the darker side. Like a typical guy, I love cars. All cars. Although I do have a preference to smaller performance cars rather than big cars. However, I actually do drive a big car, not that big. He is a 96 Nissan Pathfinder, and his name is Forrest because of the color that he is. My favorite makes of cars actually happen to be foreign cars. They would probably top of the list would be Aston Martin, because who doesn't love a kick-ass car like James Bond? Audis, Volkswagens, and who doesn't love the occasional pony car like the Mustang? Unlike most young generation peeps, is that what we call them nowadays? I don't know, I'm very old-fashioned. I drive stick! Proof of my old-fashionedness. You mad, bro? Even though I work too many ridiculous hours, I actually do love my job to a certain point. Some of my top favorite things consist of technology, because who doesn't love the newest gadgets, especially guys. Dogs, because they're warm and fuzzy. Art. All forms of music. Anything. Classical. Rock. Not that big on metal, but hey, who doesn't love a nice good hit bang every once in a while. I have gone to the dark side. I used to be a hardcore Samsung Galaxy user. I have crossed over to the iPhone. One of my favorite meals, you can even call it a meal because it's a heart attack on a plate, would have to be a bacon cheeseburger, probably with a Diet Coke. I have crossed over to Diet now. I don't like Coke anymore, it's too sweet. However, Chipotle will always top anything, no matter what. Even though I am a nerd, geek, whatever you want to classify me as, most of my fellow nerds / geeks would probably consider me more of a people person than they are. Because of said classification, I love sci-fi, particularly Doctor Who, Stargate. I'm not that big of a Star Trek fan, but I guess just because I wasn't exposed to it as much when I was younger. Shout out here to my favorite YouTuber. My favorite YouTuber is Jeremy Johns. He is a movie reviewer, and go check him out. Instead of buying my music, I prefer to just make random playlists and just slap them all in there and pay $10 a month for something known as Spotify. It is amazing. I would die without it. I am a hardcore anime and toku fan. I love Japanese culture. I love all things Japan. They're very complicated, and unlike my sister, I love sushi. However, unlike my sister also, I am 100% Peruvian. Both my parents are from Peru. My father figure growing up was my grandfather. He was one of my favorite people in the world, will always be, and may he rest in peace. I miss him dearly. Not sure if this is worth mentioning too much. I have owned the same JanSport backpack since 2006. That is old. As evidenced by the fact that I do attend college, I feel that education is very, very important. However, I don't think that it is a necessity in order to succeed in life. It has been proven and is still being proven that a fancy degree does not mean that you will be the most successful person in the world, but it helps. I love my family above all things. Unfortunately, that includes my sister, Kay. That's a fact. My favorite season is spring because of all the lovely trees blooming and everything. It's park time, but I hate allergies. Another one of my favorite meals, however, I don't really consider this a meal unless you're going to a proper restaurant and it's being made, is mac and cheese. However, I'm very particular about how I like my mac and cheese, and so far my sister has only been the person to be able to get it done right with instant, really thick, cheesy mac and cheese. Bae. I can only sleep in really, really cold temperatures. Somewhat exaggerate that it would be negative 30 degrees. Hell, I would probably sleep in that too. But I cannot sleep in the heat at all. I prefer to shave with old-fashioned single blade razors. I'm very old-fashioned. I mean, I drive stick too. Come on. But yeah, I prefer to shave with one blade. It just feels a lot smoother. Just gets it all down. Unlike my sister, I love horror movies. There's a lot of differences between Kay and I, as you can see. However, just like her, I could play several instruments. I can play a lot more than her, though, but that's not entirely her fault. I've been playing a lot longer. However, my favorite out of all these instruments will forever and always will be my alto clarinet called Rose. Unfortunately, she's in the shop right now. She's sick. Some of my favorite things to read amongst books would have to be comic books too. Also, I mean, as a kid, I loved watching, you know, those TV shows, Batman, Spider-Man, and it really made me interested in those things. So as I grew older, I started to hunt down some of the older comic books and get into them, and it's just been going on ever since, especially with Marvel's latest rebirth of movies. Some of my favorite types of games would have to be strategy games, board games, and even non-board games. One of my favorite games, video games, along with the previous list, would have to be Civilization 5. For those of you that don't know, it is an amazing game. As you can see, I wear glasses. These are a little beat up, but overall, I do prefer to wear glasses over contact lenses. I did go through a phase when I was playing sports in high school that I did have to wear contact lenses just to make it easier, but overall I prefer these bad boys. Out of all the words in the English language, my favorite word, and only because it disturbs so much of my friends, is the word moist. And finally, my last fact is my favorite comedy TV shows consist of Friends and How I Met Your Mother. Well, that's all. I hope you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit better, as awkwardly as it was, and hopefully Kay and I can get some more videos up and running like we originally intended to do, and you can view them at your leisure. Bye bye.